I want to quote something from Hiram Mann. No man is free when freedom fails. The best men rot in filthy jails, while those who cried, appease, appease, are hung by those they tried to please. There is no common cause with an enemy of your freedom. We are now faced with a dire situation in this country. We're faced with people who have in mind the destruction of our country and our freedoms. This country is the only country that I know of that has ever been founded on a constitution that says that we were created by God with certain unalienable rights. The idea is that if you are not a part of the corporation called the United States, that they can put a lien on your property. They can put a lien on you, and therefore you become known as an alien. You're an alien. Consequently, for many years I have been talking about the Jesuit establishment, conspiracy in general, and of course a lot of people have heard me and thought that perhaps I was anti-Christian. I've been called that. But in point of fact, so much of what we call today the Christian church has been usurped by the secret societies and the fraternal orders coming out of Rome. And I am very concerned about this, and for many years I have watched the undoing of Christianity by what I consider to be one of the most heinous organizations on the face of the earth. And understand, I'm not talking about the people who belong to a church or to an organization. I'm talking about corporate entities. One of the most powerful secret societies in the world is the Jesuits. The Jesuits have been around since the 1500s. It has been said back as far back as like 20 some odd years ago. Paul Harvey on ABC News talked about the fact that it was a Jesuit priest who founded the PLO. The PLO was founded by Jesuits. Adolf Hitler's document of Mein Kampf was said to have been penned by a Jesuit priest. Jesuits and the Catholic influence on America is devastating. I was born and raised a Catholic. My family was Catholic. My family brought me up to respect God and to respect divinity, but I have a very serious concern about the influence of the Jesuits in this country on us and on our country. Georgetown University, from which many of the presidents attend, Jesuit University. So when I was made aware of the book, Jesuit Assassins, incidentally, if you go to the old dictionaries, you will find the word Jesuit, and beneath Jesuit is Jesuital, and then beneath that is another entry, Jesuit assassinations. So even in the dictionary, they acknowledge that the Jesuits are premier assassins throughout the world, and they have involved themselves in some incredible, heinous deeds. And I believe that the things that are going on in the Middle East today is Jesuit-inspired. Somebody better take a look at what we call Zionism, because Zionism is not Jewish. It has nothing to do with being Jewish. The symbols of Zionism are Saturnalian. They go all the way back into the ancient world. There's something really sinister going on here right in front of our faces that we don't even understand the words. This is why I asked to be able to introduce John Phelps, because I love this information. I love this subject of the conspiratorial apparatus that the Jesuits have provided. And that's why I wanted to be able to introduce the speaker, our next speaker. And I hope that you will understand that we're not trying to ridicule any organization, but we're trying to get to the bottom of who is behind the treason going on in this country. I believe that the Catholic Church as a corporation, as an ancient body from the 4th century, provides for this country one of the most sinister influences the world has ever known. I was born and raised a Catholic. My mother had an uncle who worked at the Vatican Secretary of State's office. My great-grandfather was a senator from Florida. I have been looking at this subject for many years. We need to understand that the Vatican is heavily involved with the destruction of many countries, but especially this one. This country offers the greatest defense against tyranny. One great statesman said to oppose a tyrant is obedience to God, and that's what we're doing here. So I want to thank you and introduce the next speaker, Mr. Phelps with the Vatican Assassins.